He is a rising Filipino hip-hop artist from Malate, Manila, known for his raw, street-driven sound that emerged from the underground collective O-Side
He
Mafia.
built a successful solo path as a rapper, producer, and independent label owner, merging Manila grit with global hip-hop energy.
He breakout tracks like Gangsta. Costa Cashman continues to gain momentum as one of the most authentic voices in the new wave of Filipino rap.
On Maria Orosa Street, role models were illegalistas, and childhood ended early. At 14, Costa Cashman watched his entire family taken away in handcuffs. For most, the future was a cage or a grave, but for him, the noise of the hood became the foundation of a corporate empire. This is the raw, unfiltered story of Costa Cashman. Costa Cashman grew up in the hood, specifically on Maria Orosa Street in Malate, Manila. He describes it as a literal trap, a place where he saw the old-school cycle of crime play out every day. It was an environment populated by human CCTV, chismoses, and people whose lives were consumed by Tambay culture. He witnessed the harsh reality of drug addiction firsthand, watching relatives succumb to the point of talking to themselves. In this wild part of Malate, survival often meant relying on the discarte of the streets. And Costa spent his youth protecting provincial girls who worked in local clubs from being bullied by competitors. He became their tropa, and in return, these mothers and girlfriends provided him with food, a place to smoke, and the money he needed to keep his family's lights on. The neighborhood was rough. Malate was known for its nightlife, but behind the clubs and bars was a darker reality, a place where survival meant making hard choices. Even as a child, Costa could see the difference between his world and the world outside. He grew up in a household where he felt like the odd one out because he didn't share the same mindset as his family members. His parents and relatives were illegalistas and plugs who felt forced to do wrong things just to provide for the family. Despite their lifestyle, they taught him the value of pakisama, getting along with others, advising him that it is better to have many friends than many enemies. He remains a mama, a mama's boy, credited his mother for his toughness, and eventually made it his mission to move her out of that environment. Everything changed when he was moved from public school to a private institution. It was a culture shock of the highest order. Suddenly, the boy from the hood was sitting next to the children of judges, doctors, and dentists. He saw legal houses for the first time, homes where people used manners, said, "Good morning," and took their shoes off at the door. He realized he had been living like an animal just to survive, while another world existed where money didn't come with the threat of a prison sentence. At 14 or 15 years old, Costa experienced a traumatic turning point when every adult in his house was arrested at the same time.
Nagkaroon ng moment sa buhay ko na lahat ng tao sa bahay namin nahuli.
Oh shit.
Lahat ng mga nakakatanda sa akin, ano ako na ito kuya? 14, 15?
Oh my God.
14,
Traumatic.
Talaga ako.
Yung mga kalaro mo, mga kapitbahay mo, syempre. Diba?
Oo kuya, ganun. Lalo yung mga kapitbahay namin, mga chismosa.
Oo. Mga human CCTV.
Parang imbis na, alam mo yun, supportahan nila kasi bata ka pa naman eh.
Parang pinapamukha pa sa'yo, no? Parang kasalanan mo.
Ganun,
Very
parang
Filipino.
kasalanan, parang ganun. Pero para sa akin, hindi naman eh.
Suddenly, an orphan of the streets, he had to provide for his younger siblings. He worked 2 jobs a day, hauling heavy crates for the Big Bad Wolf book sale at the World Trade Center during the day and working as a waiter in Malate by night. He also recalled a terrifying moment at a 7-Eleven where a guard opened fire on him and his friends, forcing them to run for their lives. It still wasn't enough. He had a lot of siblings in school. He had his own vices. So he used what he had. He's not handsome, but he used my looks and my charm. He had 5 girlfriends at one point, one for money, one for smoke, one for food, and one I actually liked. They supported me. That's how I survived before rap. Music journey. He grew up surrounded by hip-hop. His uncles, his mom's friends, they were all into rap. He remembers being at a party when he was 9 years old. Jay Skills, Kosa, and other rappers were freestyling. That's when he first felt it. His journey began in his 4th year of high school when he decided to take his summer school tuition money and bet on himself by buying studio equipment. He was inspired by the hip-hop culture he grew up around and started by writing verses for other rappers for as little as 10 sticks of cigarettes and 2 bottles of water. He met G Exclusive, a lost boy, who taught him the art of songwriting, and Madman Stan. Together they formed O-Side Mafia, named after their mafia-like ability to get things done and influenced by the Bay Area's shoreline mafia. Costa became the brain of the operation, teaching himself to produce, engineer, and direct videos through YouTube University because he was tired of being overcharged for poor quality work. The name Costa Cashman came from a character in the movie Project X and his godfather, whose last name was Cashman, a legendary figure in Malate. People said if you mess with Cashman, you were done. He had respect and money. I wanted that energy. Success was not instant. Costa spent years in a trap house studio that was so hot the artists would emerge looking like they had just showered. Costa and O-Side Mafia didn't blow up overnight. It took years of grinding. They were making music, but nothing was happening. G was crying at one point, asking, "Are we ever going to make it?" Costa told him, "Just trust me. Slow money, but when it hits, it's gonna hit hard." Their first break came when Musika posted their song Tokyo Drift in the mumble rap Tawi Tawi, MRT, Facebook group. That's when people started noticing them. Rappers were sound tripping to their music, but they still didn't have fans in Malate. Their fans were online. Then came Gojita, songs that changed everything. Those were the first songs that made people realize they were different. They weren't doing the same sound as everyone else. They were making music that felt like it came from the Bay Area shoreline mafia vibes. Their first big show was a sold-out event in Malate at a legendary spot called The Best. But the real explosion came with Season Pass Freestyle and Kunan Mongpik with Al James. After that, they're getting booked everywhere. We started flying to different provinces, performing in Canada. It was surreal. Outside of music, Costa was a talented football player in elementary school, playing the left-wing position. He was even scouted by people looking to send players to Brazil. But he had to abandon the dream because the return on investment took too long and he needed to survive immediately. He also enjoys traveling to places like Bali to find peace of mind and get in the zone for songwriting. Message to the youth. Costa's message to the youth is simple.
Important. Tol, kung may bagong rapper, nangangarap, gustong mapuntahan yung napuntahan mo, gustong higitan yung napuntahan ng iba, ano advice mo sa kanya?
Unang-una, marami kang hindi gusto na kailangan mong gawin, tol. Ayun. At pangalawa, kailangan mo ng patience. Pangatlo, kailangan mo ng acceptance kasi kailangan mong tanggapin yung mga bagay na hindi mo gusto na kailangan mong gawin para mag-success ka.
Pakas.
Ayun. Tsaka, lagi ko sinasabi, gawin mo na yung gusto mo, dadaling ganyan gusto mo gusto. Ayun, tol.
He encourages aspiring artists to have patience, acceptance, and a willingness to do the things they don't like in order to achieve success. Being a real gangsta isn't about crime. It's about providing for your family and doing big boy shit. From a kid in Malate watching his family get arrested while recording song on a phone with one take, he transformed from a lost boy into a CEO and music executive who provides for his entire family. A hip-hop artist performing in sold-out shows and flying internationally, signing himself to his own label and collaborating with industry legends. Costa Cashman didn't escape the trap by accident. He fought his way out. And now, he's bringing others with him.
Di nasa big mga dati nasa underground. Kita sa billboard, ano na yung halaga. Kala mo cheat code, pare ganun talaga.